Today we are actually all cozied up in my room. I haven't actually recorded a video in this room since I think my birth story, but get used to this because I think this is really where the future of the videos for the next couple of weeks are going. So I really appreciate you guys' feedback from my 20s video. I'm glad that you guys like that type of content. That is actually the type of content that I really have been wanting to produce for a while. Like I said, next couple of weeks on my YouTube, I will only be uploading once a week. I usually would upload Tuesday and Thursday, but right now, if I'm just going to be honest with you guys, I'm in a place of my pregnancy where I am not able to do as much, and I'm not able to stand as much. I'm not able just to be as myself as I possibly could be. I'm taking out my braids finally. Like, you guys, I've had these braids in for way too long. A couple of weeks ago, I started having like really bad pelvic pain, like my hip area, and I wasn't really able to like stand as much. My energy level literally just zapped. I just decided that because of that, I'm just going to come on to YouTube and talk about the reality of pregnancy. And when I mean reality, I mean like we're going deep. Like, we're not talking about things that everybody talks about. We're talking about things that actually happen. We're talking about things that are necessary. Even if you're not a new mom, look, you can save this video, send it to your friend that you feel like is going to get pregnant. But I really have just come into this whole vibe of I want to be real about things, because the reality that social media presents to us is a different reality than what we're living in. And you know, once I started to realize that, I always wanted people to talk about these things, like talk about pregnancy, talk about things that, you know, were relevant, you know, to where I was going. And I realized that instead of thinking like, why don't people talk about this? I can just talk about it. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to complain. You can just do what you want. That's why Gandhi said you have to be the change. You have to be the change that you want to see in the world. That's why he said that. I don't know if it's Gandhi that said it. Please, if it's not Gandhi, just let me know. You know me, if you've seen me on Instagram, if you've seen me on YouTube, you know I am an extremely energetic person who's always doing one thing or another. My new thing right now is TikTok. And if you know TikTok, see, you can use it for different things, but me, I've just been using it for dancing. I've been using it to do like hair tips sometimes, and you know, I want to incorporate like funny mom videos or like just goofy things. I feel like that's where like I really want to put so much more of my personality. So I've been doing a lot of TikTok, and TikTok is something that you learn the dance, you do this, you do that, and next thing you know, you're tired, you know. So that being said, like some days I wake up and I'm just like, I don't really feel like doing anything. I don't really feel like putting on makeup. And also because I haven't taken out this hair, putting on makeup is kind of like, you know, when you put on makeup and your hair is not really done and it doesn't really look nice. So that's how I've been feeling. I'm like, why would I do makeup when my edges, like literally all my edges have come out of these braids. Like, these braids are done. They're done. I don't know why I haven't taken them out yet. So why am I talking about my braids? Before I talk about pregnancy, if you're watching this video and you're new, definitely hit the subscribe button, give me a like, share, that kind of thing. Pregnant, I'm pregnant now. This is my second pregnancy. Not only my second pregnancy, this is my second pregnancy in the past 2 years. So I've basically been pregnant for 2 years, let's be real. My son is now 8 months old. See itself, I will say pregnancy is something, I'm going to obviously say pregnancy a lot because that's what I'm talking about, but it is something that is different for every woman. I am just going to say that because a lot of times people don't realize that your pregnancy is not going to be the same as another person. Don't envy anybody the way their pregnancy is going. Just look at yourself and just appreciate what you do have. Even to get pregnant, you're already blessed. So I get it might be rough, you know, for different women, but just understand that you're pregnant, and that if that's what you wanted, then you're already there. And I had to remind myself that a lot. So my first pregnancy with Amari was pretty much chill. So from the beginning, I did not have any morning sickness. Even in this pregnancy, no morning sickness. I will say that I was a little nauseous here and there, but I never threw up. Symptoms wise, with Amari, when I was pregnant with Amari, I could not sleep. I got a pregnancy pillow. I don't know if I was scared of squishing the baby. I've said this before. I don't know what it was, but I was just it was just not clicking. Sometimes I would have to sleep with a pregnancy pillow. My back ached a lot, and you know, because it was my first pregnancy, I didn't really know what to expect. I kept thinking to myself, oh my god, I can't wait for this baby to come out. This is the funny part, and this is the part that I didn't really talk about too much when I was pregnant, because when you're pregnant with your first child, it's a little different. You're worried about everything. You're not sure what to share, what not to share. Everything just worries you, and because of that, you just have to decide by yourself, okay, what do I want to share, what do I not want to share. With me, I don't share a lot about my pregnancies in general, just because personally I feel like it's a journey that I want to go on by myself. I like talking about it in terms of helping you guys or aiding you guys to see different things, but in terms of like gender of the baby, how many weeks I am along, most of the time I'm not comfortable talking about those things, because I feel like those are like personal things. However, when the baby is born, if you guys have noticed, I will always, come on here, tell you guys the gender, do all the things normally. But before the baby is born, I just never feel comfortable with it. And you guys have done a really good job of respecting that about me, which is great. I was pregnant with Amari. You guys know if you're pregnant, you always get screened for glucose, which you can either have gestational diabetes or you cannot. So that was something that I had in my pregnancy with Amari, and I'm not gonna lie, it stressed me out. So let me just tell you guys a little bit about what gestational diabetes is if you're not familiar. Gestational diabetes is diabetes that shows itself only in pregnancy, because sometimes pregnancy does things to the body and processes sugar a little different. So because of that, I really had to crank down my diet, and the first step is being diet controlled. So basically they'll put you on a specific diet, and basically the diet was just eating 6 times a day, having snacks, always watching your portion sizes. So I'll be eating really small meals but really frequently. And as a pregnant lady, you know that most of the time you have all these cravings, so it was already hard for me to be diet controlled. However, thank God Amari came before I was prescribed to take insulin, and you guys have talked to you guys about this before. He came a little early. I really didn't know that babies can just come when they want to come. I really just thought that it was just that thing where it's like 40 weeks, baby. No, it's not like that. Babies just come when they want to come. So he was born around 36 weeks, and that already stressed me out. So now I've talked a little bit about pregnancy. Like I said, my pregnancy itself was pretty chill, in the sense that, like, aside from the gestational diabetes that stressed me out, mentally sometimes pregnancy can get to you. I noticed like when I was pregnant with Amari, I went through like a whole bout of just trying to figure things out, because I felt so like alone in what I was going through. Like I didn't have a lot of friends that were pregnant at that time. Loneliness of like, oh my god, like nobody can really understand that this thing is taking a toll on me, and this thing is really making me, like, sometimes I used to go through mood swings, because it's normal, and just want to eat a lot. Some days I would just wake up and I'm just tired and I don't want to do anything. I used to put a lot of pressure on myself, because at that time, with this pregnancy in comparison to Amari's pregnancy, I wasn't doing so much. I was just chilling. Amari's pregnancy, I was chilling a lot. I wasn't actually even posting or anything. This pregnancy, I had a lot of energy, so I decided to just pour it into content creating and things I wanted to do. But I had to figure that out as I went. This pregnancy, my pelvis has been hurting a lot. I can feel this baby a lot more. I think it's because they're back to back. So I feel a lot heavier, and because of that, I've had to take it easy, because I'm not able to move as much. Sometimes I have a hard time standing up. And because of all these things, it can really make me just feel tired, to move around a lot. And you just have to be real with it. Like, we're content creators, where people are on YouTube to be real. And I just always wanted to be real with you guys. And I can't content create as much as I want to, because again, I put a lot of pressure on myself to content create, because it's something I love to do. But I've started having to accept the reality that I am not only a mom of one, I am also pregnant, and that can take a toll on me if I just continue acting like I'm not, which I'm not gonna lie, for the past couple of months, that's how I was acting. I was kind of acting like, yes, I got this, and it caught up to me. I feel like that's why the pelvis pain was there. I probably overworked and overstressed myself, and then obviously it happened, and now I'm just like, okay, until this baby is born, I'm gonna have to take it easy. Do what you can, not what you can't. The reason why I want to also talk about postpartum is because pregnancy, yes, I feel like I was not well informed about pregnancy, about how it is and how sometimes you get tired, how there's so many other things that could happen in pregnancy, and sometimes you can't control certain things. Like this pregnancy, I've been way better in controlling my moods, but with Amari's pregnancy, I was so moody all the time. Like I sometimes didn't even understand why I was moody until I started giving myself that thing where it was like, I'm moody actually because I'm pregnant, and that's okay. I think when you become pregnant, sometimes you put so much pressure on yourself. You're like, wow, I'm the only one going through this, but you're really not. You're not alone. I'll talk about postpartum is because honestly, of all the things that shocked me, what shocked me really was the process. Now, let me talk a little bit about the process. So labor itself is very intense. I can't really talk too much about labor because I've read a book on hypnobirthing, and I actually have to start reading it again for this pregnancy just to brush up. But I followed a lot of hypnobirthing techniques. Thank God my labor was amazing. It didn't shock me that much because again, I had watched a lot of YouTube videos. I've been well versed on like what was going to happen. Honestly, I think labor to me was even underwhelming. I guess I thought it was going to be way more than it was. But it was definitely an experience, but it wasn't something that shocked me so much like, oh my God, labor. The tips that I have for you guys, going through pregnancy and stuff like that, labor wise, is try to conserve your energy. I know it's hard to even say this, but while you're contracting, the more you allow your body to do its work by relaxing and trying your best not to tense up, the better for you, because what tends to happen is your labor will progress even further. What happens with labor is that people think that because of the pain and everything, they have to tense up and clench up and bear down, and all those things make your body feel like you are in pain and it has to protect you. And if it's protecting you, it's not going to progress. But if you allow your body to just do its thing and just naturally like let everything happen, most of the time labor is a little easier. So now I've covered labor. Postpartum. The reason why this postpartum thing shocked me a lot is because I guess I thought it was over and that's it. After that, everything, you go home and everything's fine. And everything was fine. But after I gave birth to the baby, the first thing that shocked me was I didn't realize that you have to breastfeed immediately. I thought breastfeeding was going to be something that's like, down the line. And it's funny because I actually signed up for a breastfeeding class the week before Amari came, and the lady on the phone was like, yeah, in case your baby comes, you can just call us and cancel. I was like, my baby's not coming. I'm 36 weeks pregnant. Why would my baby come? However, the baby can come at any time. As a pregnant woman, please, I'm begging in the name of God, as soon as you hit 31, 32 weeks, even though it seems very early, prepare. I was somebody who I prepared so much because I didn't want anything. Like, I don't know, I was nesting very heavily. Because I was nesting very heavily, I got the crib done. The only thing that I did not do, which I wish I had done and I didn't put off till last minute continuously, was my car seat. However, all the other stuff, I made sure I got it ready, and I'm so grateful that I did, because I remember coming home and being like, thank God I got stuff ready. So by the time you don't put off anything, just do everything early. Like right now, I've already bought, and that was something with Amari that I wish I had done, that I'm glad I'm doing with this baby. I bought my robe for our matching pictures, that kind of thing. Like, I wanted me and Amari to wear a certain color, and I never bought it because I was just like, oh no, when I get to 37 weeks, no, get everything together as early as you possibly can. You do not know when the baby is coming. The baby can come at any time, even sometimes people go above 40 weeks also. So please get everything ready. Aside from get everything ready, after I gave birth, I didn't realize the baby was going to breastfeed right away. Okay, breastfeeding. Let me come and talk to you guys a little bit. It is not as easy as just putting your breast inside the baby's mouth. Repeat after me. it is not that easy. It was not something that I thought that I had to really research too much about. Different things that I had to learn. I actually even had to go to a breastfeeding class for almost a month and a half after Amari was born to learn. And that's even why I didn't come back on YouTube until like 2 months later. Aside from pregnancy and you planning for pregnancy, postpartum is something that a lot of women don't mentally prepare for because they think that the giving birth process and after giving birth is easy. But it's not as easy as you think. Not saying that you won't go through it. I'm not trying to scare you guys. I don't want you to get scared. I mean, I'm pregnant myself, so it's not like I can even scare myself. But I am mentally more prepared for postpartum this time than last time. They're going to make your baby latch immediately. And what is discouraging, or what can be discouraging about breastfeeding, is that your milk does not come right away. God bless those who immediately your baby latches, the milk comes out, everything is great. But my milk did not come out immediately. And that stressed me out because not only did my milk not come out, because I was fully planning to myself, I'm going to breastfeed my child for a year, really excited about it, really wanting to really put just immerse myself inside breastfeeding. Not only did my milk not come out, they were now telling me to pump. And that was something that I didn't even know. I didn't research too much about the after birth situation, so I didn't even know about pumping or anything like that. While I was in the hospital, they forced me to pump a couple of times. Guy, when I tell you that thing was less than 2 ounces, it was like this small, and I would pump and pump and pump for 30 minutes, nothing would come out. I was just thinking to myself, so how is my baby going to eat? So we ended up having to give him a little bit of formula at some points just so that my milk could come in. I kept trying to pump, and pumping itself is even tedious. You have to pump every 2 to 3 hours, or sometimes even more than that, and I wasn't used to it. And having a baby and having to know that you have to pump as you're taking care of this baby, it can be a lot. Thank God for the hospital having the breastfeeding classes that I'm saying that they had. If not for them having that breastfeeding class that I went to, and the technician, the lactation consultant really helping me, to guide myself through that process, I promise you, I would not have even fed Amari at all. And that was something that was stressing me out a lot because I had always pictured of breastfeeding my child. I never knew that there was going to be any type of issues. But those are the issues that can present themselves. So if you are a pumping mom out there, trust me, at some point I was getting 5 ounces, 6 ounces. Things got a lot better. Sometimes during those first 2 weeks of you first giving birth, it's going to be very, very challenging. Your head is going to be spinning with all these things. But if you're well educated about every single part of the process, it will really help. Because I was not well educated. I was well educated about labor because I think people talk more about labor all the time than they do postpartum. So I was more educated about that than anything. So now, aside from breastfeeding, do your research. As a pregnant mom, that's the most you can do for yourself to save yourself stress, to save yourself a lot of pain and anxiety after the baby comes. Because honestly, when Amari came, one thing I regret was that I was so stressed out that I did not really enjoy the moment as much as I could have. And I don't want that for you guys. So that's why I'm even talking about it. This pregnancy, I can already tell that I'm going to just not let anything stress me out, because I know now that everything works out in the end. My child is now 8 months. I was so worried about him and his weight because he wasn't gaining as much weight at some point. But everything worked out, and sometimes as moms, I think that we dwell so much in that moment of caring for our child that we don't realize hey, months are going to pass and you're going to be okay. Aside from breastfeeding, I will say even yourself. So now we're talking about the baby, breastfeeding and things like that, learning to take care of a baby in general. I had a little bit of experience taking care of kids when I was growing up. So taking care of a baby, changing diaper, all those things wasn't so bad for me. But postpartum care of me, my postpartum care was also very different because, again, I don't know if you guys know this, but after you give birth, they're going to keep pressing your stomach to make sure all this TMI stuff, I know is a lot, but I'm just being real with it, because if this can help any mom out there that's about to give birth, okay, if this can help you to be less stressed out, to know what's coming for you, then at least you will know and be prepared. Because being prepared, that's why they say if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. A lot of times that's what causes people to be very overwhelmed, and sometimes can even cause you to go through postpartum depression because you don't know and it's so overwhelming. So understand that I'm just trying to give you guys information, and if this information can help you, that would be great. So after you give birth, they're going to keep pushing your stomach because they want everything to come out. They want you to not have any internal bleeding, anything like that. You're obviously still going to be sore. I got stitched up. If you guys, I don't know how, you know, different people are different. Some people don't get tears. I got a 2nd degree tear. I got stitched up, which is fine. That I was definitely expecting. You know, what I wasn't expecting was that they push your stomach up, you know, every couple of hours when the nurse comes. You know, sometimes you can get ibuprofen, which is great. I got ibuprofen, so I didn't feel too much of the pain. So aside from that, you know, when you leave the hospital, you're going to be recovering. They're going to give you a bath that you're going to have to sit on. The hospital provided me everything. Like, you're going to be bleeding for quite a while. So if you can get adult diapers, I definitely am going to do a what's in my hospital bag video because I've always wanted to do that. But what's adult diapers, because a lot of women that I had been watching had been talking about adult diapers, but I didn't really care too much about them. I liked what they gave me in the hospital. They usually give you like these panties, and then they have like a pad, and then they put some witch hazel like pads on it, and then they also put like, they give you this padsicle thing that's cold, which all of these things help you a lot. They help you a lot to heal. They help you a lot for you to feel a little better down there, because it's always, obviously it hurts still for a while. However, after this, you know, bleeding period and things like that, like I said, things start to get better, you know, when you start to get more rest, because again, when you first give birth, you're going to have to be waking up every 2 to 3 hours. Thank God I have help. So I used to sleep like 6-8 hours sometimes, because Banji will be with the baby, you know. So you have to get what works for you, because pregnancy and postpartum is not as easy as you think, but at the same time, it is something that you definitely can go through, and it's something that it really opens your eyes to the beauty of being a mom, and it opens your eyes to just everything, like life. Oh my God, like it's crazy how much I changed after giving birth, because it's like you just see yourself as like somebody who went through something so big. Like, it's almost like you just think to yourself like, wow, I can go through anything if I went through this, you know what I mean? So I really, you know, want you guys to understand that everybody's experience is going to be different. But like I said, you know, postpartum wise, you know, just get mentally prepared for that. Get mentally prepared for pumping, all those things. Even pregnancy wise, you know, there's so many women that I've talked to, and their pregnancies are very different. And don't expect to fall in love right away. I'm just going to put that out there. I think that for the first couple of weeks, if not months, you're still in a daze that you have to take care of a baby. And, you know, sometimes that can get a lot on you as a mom, especially being a first-time mom on your life. And I just hope that everything will go well, and you deliver well, and your labor will be great, and your baby will come out fine, and everything will be okay. So I hope that this video has showed you the real side of pregnancy, but also giving you a little bit of hope that everything is going to be okay. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Let me know down below any other topics that I would like to talk about. Like I said, right now I'm focusing on just uploading 1 video a week every Thursday, because I am also trying to put out my course, my photography and videography course. I've talked about this before, but I will say it again. And I hope you guys have a great week. So comment down below, let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.